Hello, I am Sarah Barnham and I will be your supervising assessor for this trial assessment. The purpose of you being here today is to trial the assessment tool that I have created, which is a short response and multiple choice exam. The unit you are being assessed on is called Use Social Media to Engage Customers. Today you will be completing one piece of assessment and it will be a short response multiple choice exam. As you expect in a real life exam, there are instructions that I'll need to give for you to be able to use the assessment tool, and the assessment will also be completed in exam conditions. Essentially you'll complete this exam and then I'll ask if you have any feedback, ideas or suggestions that I could use to improve the assessment tool. In front of you there is also a notepad, so as you complete the exam, take any notes that you would like to, with any tips or ideas or anything you've noticed in the exam that could be improved or changed. So changes could include formatting of the document, wording, content in the exam, whether there should be more short response or multiple choice type questions, changes to the time limit, or even how the exam is completed. So perhaps if you think the exam would be better completed electronically on a computer. Changes could also include any typos or grammatical errors you see in the document. Hopefully there aren't any, but if you do, just make sure you make a note of it. In addition to this, I will ask that once you have completed the assessment, if you could please fill out an evaluation checklist form, which I will hand out afterwards. You basically just read the question that it's asking you and you write yes, no, and any additional comments that you want in that field. So without further ado, I will explain how the assessment will actually be completed today. You will have 60 minutes to complete this exam. Each question is either a multiple choice question with answer choices or a short response question and answer. So for the multiple choice questions, you will read each question and choose only one answer. And for the short written response questions, keep your answers simple and to the point, and be sure to answer all elements of the question. Be sure to allocate your time carefully so that you complete the test within the testing session. And in front of you, you have all the relevant documentation needed to complete the exam. Please do not discuss answers with each other. Any questions should be directed to me. I will try to help you to the best of my ability without obviously giving away the answer. And also, before we start the assessment, should you need, the toilets are located directly across from the training room to the right. There is a water cooler next to it, and the kitchen is diagonally to the right should you need. And in the event of an evacuation, our exit points are the door that you came through this morning, which leads into the car park. Should that door become unusable, we'll use this front door, which leads out to the front of the building. In the event of a fire, there is safety equipment located in the administration office, and there is also a first aid kit in the kitchen. So with that, we will start the assessment, and I will give you some time to read over the document. But are there any questions before I hand this out? Not yet.
No. Thank you.
So you'll see on the front page that there is instructions to the assessor, so that's just from myself, and there's instructions to the candidate, which is you guys, but we've already discussed that, and it's basically just telling you how to answer each question. If you could just also flip to the first page, so you'll see the first column has the questions. The second column is where you will write your answers. The last two columns you don't need to have anything to do with, that's for my marking. So with that, we will start. Any questions at all?
So there's a 60-minute time frame on this, is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the 60 minutes is up and I will collect your exams. Thank you. Thank you. So, how did everyone feel with the exam? Did everyone feel okay with the content? Excellent. Okay, so with you having completed it, I would like to grab some feedback from you. So, Jordan, did you have any suggestions?
Probably more space to write answers.
Yeah.
I had trouble using the space. I found I was running out of room. For people who write larger, this could help. Maybe just have a bit more room in the box to sort of
So,
fill your answers
would
in.
you say maybe like double the space that was there?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Karen?
Yeah, I thought perhaps include some lines for the text instead of the large open space, because it'll help to keep writing neat and a smaller size, and it also gives some indication of how many words are needed per question.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I felt I was a bit rushed with the 60-minute time frame. I felt like I needed more time and I was a bit flustered.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest maybe adding 30 minutes, maybe, especially for those that write a little bit slower like I do.
Yep.
In the actual exam, give students more space rather than squashing us all up together. There's, it was just a little bit.
Yep.
I just felt uncomfortable there.
Did everyone also find the exam easy to read, easy to follow? There was no disruptions throughout?
Yeah, that was fine.
And I will also ask, did everyone feel like their learning needs were met?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So, well, I thank you so much for giving me feedback for this trial assessment. There is one last aspect though, which is the evaluation checklist. So basically this just helps me with some additional feedback to change and improve my assessment tool. So we'll go through that.
Thank you.
So you will see that there is a column there that says, have the following criteria been addressed? And there's 19 questions, but don't feel like you have to write a lot. Just if something felt okay, so yes, this is okay. If something you felt like could be improved, just put that in there. I'll just quickly go through the questions with you as well. So, number 1, did you feel the assessment tested you on what you had learnt in the training? So that's basically whether you feel like the exam was comprehensive and covered all of the content.
Do we fill this out now?
I'll go through these with you and then you can read them on your own as well, just so that we're all on the same page. And number 2, was there anything in the assessment that you felt needed more training on before being assessed? So was there anything in the exam that you really had to rack your brains that you couldn't remember having learned? Question number 3, was the chosen assessment activity a good way to assess what you had learned? So did you think that the assessment method of an exam / short response question and answer was appropriate for this unit? Number 4, did you feel the assessment was supportive of your personal needs? So this can include your needs in literacy, numeracy, or any other disability. Number 5, were there any adjustments made to the assessment in order to better, were there any adjustments necessary to better meet your personal needs? So perhaps this means the font could be bigger, as you mentioned, more space to write. Did you feel any adjustments made to the assessment for you were fair and adequate? Question number 7, do you think the assessment is at the right level of difficulty for the qualification? Was it too hard or too easy? Question number 8, do you think that the assessment tested you in a way that was similar to how you will use the skills in the real world? Number 9, did the assessment include information about workplace health and safety where relevant? Were you provided with question 10, were you provided with sufficient information about the assessment prior to being assessed? 11, did the assessment allow you to show your competency in more than one way? Question 12. Were you informed that RPL was available to you if you had experience in the skills and knowledge being assessed? Question 13. Do you feel the assessment was clearly written in terms of instructions and grammar, and did it use appropriate language? Question 14. Was the assessment appropriately formatted and well designed in terms of layout with sufficient space for your responses? 15. Were the assessment documents easy and practical to use? 16. Was the assessment sensitive to audience diversity and did not contain any gender, cultural, or other bias? 17. Did you feel the instructions in the assessment were clear and detailed? 18. How did you think the assessment documents could be improved? 19. How do you think the process could be improved? So by process, it just means how I explained how to complete the assessment. So if you guys could please fill out that form, it would help me greatly. And with that, I will switch off the video. Thank you so much.
Thank you.